All right, Night of the Comet. This was released in 84, and if you couldn't deduce that from the film, then you are blind, because this is the most 1984 movie that's ever 1984'd 1984. It was just 1984 written all over this fucking movie. It was the most 84 thing since Wonder Woman 1984. No, this was more 84 than 94, 84 Wonder Woman, whatever that movie is called. Did that movie even come out? Is it on streaming or something? I don't know. I will not be reviewing Wonder Woman 1984. It's not really an interesting movie to me. I didn't really enjoy the first Wonder Woman. That's a story for a different time. Now we're reviewing Night of the Comet. So what's this movie about? In the valley, this takes place in Kelli, a comet flies past the Earth. And everyone's immediate reaction is to go outside and watch this comet as it flies by the Earth. Unfortunately, it vaporizes everyone, and then zombies take over. So the story follows these two girls, sisters, and they're trying to survive this whole situation. Plot doesn't really make sense to me. Overall, unfortunately, this movie was a bit mixed. I'll start with the positives. Well, I won't get ahead of myself. I really liked the first maybe 1/3 of this movie. Movie opens up, we see the comet go across the sky, and our lead character, our heroine of the film, is having sex in a projector room, which has always been a fantasy of mine. No, don't do that, kids. It's a bad idea. Don't do that. No, they're having sex in the projector room. They're teenagers. That's what they do. They have sex in unusual places. And the next day, the partner wakes up and gets bashed over the head by a zombie. Just bashes him over the head. By the way, just going back to that projector room, I'm probably lingering too much on this projector room, but there is a poster of Marlon Brando on one of the walls of the projector room. The guy owns the projector room. He's the one working in the projector room. And there's a poster of Marlon Brando. I'm like, okay, yeah, pretty cool poster of Marlon Brando. But then there's another fucking poster of Marlon Brando. All right, I'm all for having one poster of one person. That's okay in life. But when you've got 2 or more posters of an individual in the same room, gets a little obsessive. But I'm not one to judge. I think I'm the proud owner of 15 Pam Grier posters, and they all reside in my bedroom. I liked the first third of the movie. The intro as well, the opening title is pretty corny. You got a narrator explaining what's going on with some cheesy sci-fi music.
The citizens of Earth would get an extra Christmas present this year as their planet orbited through the tail of the comet. Scientists predicted a light show of stellar proportions, something not seen on Earth for 65 million years.
It was paying homage to 50s sci-fi movies, which a lot of the 80s movies tend to do. There's also this really weird part. I was confused at first. There's a part where the stepmom is arguing with her kid, and the kid slapped her in the face, and then the stepmom punched her, closed fist, in the face.
You were born with an asshole, Doris. You don't need Chuck.
God, if I would have done that to one of my parents, they would have disowned me. They would have put me on a bus to Iowa or some random place like that. And yeah, and I would never think of hitting my parents because they are great people. I love my parents. Don't hit your parents, kids. This girl is a bad influence. I don't know. But other than that, I enjoyed the 2 leads of the film. The film follows 2 sisters. They're very Valley Girl, but they're not like a Valley Girl stereotype, like, oh my god, like totally cool. They're not like that. They're Valley Girls. They act a little like Valley Girls, but they're still capable people. they're still pretty badass. They've got Uzis. The lead character is like into gaming and stuff like that. It was interesting, and I find so often in films, writers don't understand how to write female characters, and they think the only way to write a female badass is to strip her of her femininity and make her like basically a man, but in a girl's body. This movie I found did that balance perfectly. She's still a woman. She's still feminine. There's like a montage of her and her sister shopping, and they're playing "Girls Just Wanna Have Fun." But she's a very capable person still. She takes out a few zombies on her own. She like handles an Uzi like a pro. She's a pro like gun shooter because she plays a lot of video games and stuff like that. One line I thought was really funny in the film is there's a part where they're trying to kill children by drugging them, and they're going to put the mask on the child. And they're telling the child, no, it's fine, just put the mask on, you'll go to sleep, and when you wake up, you'll be in the North Pole. And the other kid's like, that's bullshit, Santa isn't real. And then it cuts away to some creeper in the corner, and he's like, you don't believe in Santa?
Hey, there's no such thing as Santa Claus.
What? You don't believe in Santa?
That part was pretty funny. I don't know if it was intentionally funny, but I got a good laugh out of it. But yeah, that's all the positives I have with the movie. The leads were funny. The first third was pretty good. What I don't like about the movie is that after that first third, it becomes a little too convoluted to me. And the zombies just don't fit in this story. Even the logic behind why there would be zombies in such a situation is glossed over. It doesn't make much sense, and the zombies feel a little shoehorned in. This would have been a much better movie if it was something like a Last Man on Earth or an Omega Man or even like a Mad Max, where it's just like the Earth is desolate and it's just these two girls. And there's like these creeps, like biker gangs and stuff like that, and they have to fight them off. But I felt like the movie just had too many ideas and it wasn't meshing together. Because in one part there's like crazy people, and on the other part there's like the zombies, and then there's weird scientists, and it just didn't mesh together like I wish it would have. Also, if you are going to make this a zombie movie, this is a pretty tame zombie movie. It's PG-13, which I've seen PG-13 movies, PG-13 zombie movies, and they were more graphic than this. This is, I would say, 13-year-old oriented. There are some scary parts, but it's okay to scare a 13-year-old, I think. I don't know, I don't have kids, I might be wrong. But yeah, it felt a little underwhelming when it came to the whole scares. It's not really a horror movie. There's nothing really terrifying about these zombies, especially after watching Dawn of the Dead and Zombie 2, and it's a little lacking in the zombie department. And it did market itself as a zombie movie at the time, so I don't know, it's a little tame. But overall, this movie, it's not for me. I'll admit it. It's not for me. But if I had a 13-year-old daughter, I think she would dig this movie, and I'd have no problem with her liking this movie. And I think it's a really good movie to show to a 13-year-old girl. Might be a little too violent, depending on how your parenting style is, but I think it's an acceptable film for a 13-year-old girl. Unfortunately, I'm not a 13-year-old girl. I'm a 22-year-old fat-ass schlub in a garage, sweating profusely. Ho! So on that note, I think I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 10. It just wasn't for me. The criticisms I have are basically criticisms that I think every age group would have. However, the target audience of this film is 13-year-old girls, so I would still recommend it to a 13-year-old girl. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Woo! And stay tuned for some more great zombie movies. Spooky.
I'll be taking requests from all you teenage comet zombies.
The night the teenagers ruled the world. Night of the Comet.
The burden of civilization is on us.
Fiction, isn't it?